This is Connor.
Connor, are your men ready?
Negative. Nobody is ready. We are not. You are not. We must abort the attack. The game has changed.
What are you talking about? All our elements are past their release points. They are in assault position.
Then delay the attack. At least delay the attack. I have a chance to infiltrate Skynet and rescue those prisoners. Give me that opportunity.
No, absolutely not. This is not the time for a rescue mission. What you ask for will undermine the whole operation.
Skynet has Kyle Reese.
And that is his fate.
No, it's our fate. I have to save him. He is the key. The key to the future, to the past. Without him, we lose everything.
No, you stay the course!
If we stay the course, we are dead! We are all dead!
As of this moment, soldier,
You are relieved of your command. You are no longer a part of this resistance.
I didn't catch that last statement.
Neither did I.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Kong bows to no one.
I volunteer as tribute.
Game over, man. Game over.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Chills and Thrills. Connor here along with my co-host Big Poppy AD.
What up?
We are back, but continuing the Terminator franchise, but sadly Arnold is not back. That is my big gripe with this film. That is literally my only problem with this film. And I mean, we get a CGI Arnold if you want to consider that as Arnold being back, which is it's so bad. It's so bad, but I like the effort. I like that they tried. There was a there was a thing to this one where Arnold did want to come back if he wasn't elected governor of California, and as everyone knows, or most people know, history will tell us that he was elected. So that is the main reason he did not return here in Terminator Salvation. Adrian, how do you feel about this film going into it? We don't get Arnold back. It takes a completely different turn into we're not prepping for a future war anymore or going towards it. We're dropped right in the middle of it. How did you feel with the different route this film took?
I gotta say, I saw this one in theaters. This is one of the few Terminator movies I've seen in theaters. Let's be honest, this is the only Terminator movie I've seen in theaters. Because did I watch Genesis or Dark Fate? No, because just like the Rocky series and going into the Creed series, I did not want to ruin my childhood. Now with Creed, I regret not watching those movies sooner. I do. We will get into the Terminator movies later, but for this one, for Terminator Salvation, I was actually pretty happy about seeing it in theaters, and I very much enjoyed this movie. I mean, I know we get a terrible CG Arnold, and it's great that he got elected governor, but could he have been? He could have taken a weekend, to film a couple scenes. He could have done that. Why wouldn't he have given us that? It's not like his CGI self was in the movie for that long. He could have filmed that. He could just did it on a green screen, a couple hours of makeup, bam, he's there. Come on, man. You could have did that for us. The world deserved it. The world we definitely deserved that, especially in the time frame that this movie came out of. We all needed a good Terminator movie, and my hot take, this is a good Terminator movie. I love the fact that it is post-apocalyptic because the first three we're ramping up for the end of the world, and it's always on the precipice. It's right there. It's right there about to happen, and then bam, they kill the Terminator, and it doesn't happen until you get to um, Terminator 3, which, spoiler alert, it happens at the end, but now you get to see. I love a post-apocalyptic movies. I do. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of zombie films. I'm a big fan of these. What are those called? Not just post-apocalyptic, but what are those called? Connor, help me out with that.
I got nothing for you. I'm listening to you, I promise, but I
Dystopian. Dystopian. That's the word. I'm a big fan
oh,
of
our
dystopian
future
futures.
dystopian worlds.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of those. So this movie had it all for me. And it had Christian Bale. He wasn't Batman. He did act a little bit in the shadows, which I felt like that was close enough. Um, and then we had what's his freaking name?
Sam
Sam
Worthington.
Worthington, who played in Avatar. Great movie. Um, did he revisit his role in this film a lot? Yes, I will say that. That's my other hot take on this. We'll get into that later. Uh, but yeah, I think this was a good film. That's where I'm at. There's me off my soapbox.
I mean, I agree. I do think it's one of those things that my entire life I have compared it to the other 3 Terminators, and this one with not having Schwarzenegger in it, and just being the one that's different. I am a sucker for, like, continuity and, like, continuancy and things like that, like, keeping stories the same, like, when they took Jason out of Camp Crystal Lake and took him to New York in part 8, and Jason goes to hell when he was body hopping, like, I don't like things like that, and I tend to be the one that doesn't like when franchises switch it up, at least, like, in a big fashion. This franchise in this film switched it up in a big fashion and a big jump, taking it to the future after Judgment Day. And I will say that I liked it. I liked this switch up a lot more than I have switch ups in other franchises. And like you said, the cast is loaded in this. I mean, like you said, Christian Bale, Sam Worthington. We get one of my loves in Bryce Dallas Howard. I loved her from I believe it was Spider-Man 3 back in the day,
Yes,
and then, of course, she was in the Jurassic World films, and we get Common in this, who I recognize him in this, and then a later John
immediately.
Wick film, and Michael Ironside, like, this cast is our main characters are pretty loaded with some star-studded power. Because, like you said, I've seen Sam Worthington in this and the Avatar films, and he was in one of my favorite creature features, Rogue. I don't know if you've ever seen that, about a rogue crocodile. That's pretty good, like, so, I mean, we definitely have a good cast of characters. The special effects are once again done very well. I think the story is done well. And like I said, the only thing that I have against it is Schwarzenegger not truly being back, just because I have a soft spot for him. But I can overlook that if you give me some good characters, dialogue, some good action scenes, which this film does. So that's pretty much where I stand on Terminator Salvation. Me and you are relatively close on this one.
We are very close here. Big fan of Common. Anytime he's on the film, uh, I love his character. I mean, he's he's a good actor, and I love everything that he's in. Can't agree with you on Bryce Dallas Howard. I'm not a fan.
No? Oh.
Yeah, I know that's a hot take. Hot take number 3. Here we go. This episode is filled with hot takes. Not a fan of Bryce Dallas Howard. I don't know what it is, but you ever have someone just piss you off with their presence?
Every day at work. What do you mean?
There you go. See, I mean, nothing against her. It truly is nothing against her. If she was right in front of me, nothing against it, Bryce. But I just I just I don't know. I can't stand the woman. It's something to do with something, and I can't pinpoint it. Um, and anything that she's in, I'm not really a fan of. Don't know why, but That's my hot take. I can't stand Bryce Dallas Howard.
And that was gonna be my next question. Is it just her in this film, or is it her in every film?
Like, I don't know, man. Like, it's so I wasn't with you whenever y'all talked about Jurassic World, which big shame, big shame on that because I love the Jurassic Park film, as you know. And she came in, and she was so in the first Jurassic World movie, and then the second one, I don't know. I mean, she tugged at my heartstrings a little bit, and I was all right with it. But she was still pissing me off. Um, she was in Twilight movies, and then I think like finding out about her ditching Twilight because she didn't think it was going to be a big film, and then they replaced her with somebody who was who did a great job, and then whenever the film started taking off, like the series took off, then she was like, "Okay, never mind, I'm back." And then she came back, and I'm like, "You bitch, why would you do that?" Like, we moved on. That's like an ex girlfriend leaving you because she doesn't think you're shit, and then finding out you are the shit, and then starts coming back and knocking on your door, just like, "Hey, how you doing?" And
That
you
11
you
o'clock
end up
text message, "Hey, I've been thinking about you."
yeah, just like one of those "you up," kind of text messages, and it's just horrible. Like that's the feeling I get. I feel after hearing that, I felt dirty. Felt dirty just knowing that was like, am I a fan of the Twilight films? Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. I like Twilight films. I've watched them. I read the books. Read them in high school. Was I forced to by an ex-girlfriend? Absolutely right. But did I enjoy them? You damn right I did. Um, and yeah, I just it just pissed me off, you know? That's my
I was
yeah,
gonna
that's my
joke
third
with
hot take.
you and say that it was the scene with her in the heels running away from the T-Rex. That's why everybody doesn't like her.
It's that definitely played a role. I looked at it, I was like, "What the hell is that? What are you doing? What didn't she take off her heels to do that whole like, "Oh, I'm a woman, like I'm adventurous." Like it was whenever they were chasing after the kids and they found out that they jumped into the water. He's like, "Well, we gotta hike through this and you're in heels." And she took off her heels and she like tied up her shirt and he's like, "What the hell was that?" Because I'm showing you that I'm ready. I was like, "Okay." Like I got it. I understood what you're putting down, girl. And then later on she has her heels back on and you feel like she wanted to take them off so she could, Usain Bolt it past a freaking T-Rex. But no, she didn't. She wore heels, and I need to get off this soapbox. I'm spiraling here, man.
Alright, let me get you off the soapbox, and I'll give you some background information on Terminator Salvation.
Please do.
Alright, so Terminator Salvation is a 2009 American military science fiction action film. Try to say that 5 times fast.
Yeah.
It is the 4th installment in the Terminator franchise, serving as a direct sequel to Terminator 3: Rise of the Machines from 2003. It is directed by McGee and written by John Brancato and Michael Ferris. It is the only Terminator film to date not to feature Arnold Schwarzenegger, boo, though his likeness briefly appears digitally. Instead, it stars Christian Bale and Sam Worthington, with Anton Yelchin, Moon Bloodgood, Bryce Dallas Howard, Common, Michael Ironside, and Helena Bonham Carter in supporting roles. In a departure from the previous installments, Salvation is a post-apocalyptic film set in the year 2018. It focuses on the wars between Skynet's machine network and humanity, as the remnants of the world's militaries had united to form the resistance to fight against Skynet. Bale portrays John Connor, a resistance fighter and central character, while Worthington portrays cyborg Marcus Wright. Yelchin plays a young Kyle Reese, a character first introduced in the first Terminator in 1984, and the film depicts the origins of the T-800 Terminator. After troubled pre-production with the Halcyon Company acquiring the rights from Andrew G. Vajna and Mario Casar, and with several writers working on the screenplay, filming began in May 2008 in New Mexico and ran for 77 days. Terminator Salvation was released on May 21st, 2009 by Warner Bros. Pictures in the United States and by Sony Pictures Releasing under its Columbia Pictures label internationally. While originally intending to be the first installment of a second Terminator trilogy, these plans were canceled following the Halcyon Company filing for bankruptcy after the film's release. The franchise rights were sold in 2012 to Annapurna Pictures, resulting in Terminator Genesis, a reboot of the series being released in 2015 with Schwarzenegger reprising his role. So there's a little bit of background on Terminator Salvation.
Damn. All right, that took a minute to get out, but that's some good info there. Thank you, buddy.
I do what I can for you, you know, and like I said, I do like the way this film plays out, and I'm excited to talk about it. Of course, I'm always excited to talk about movies, no matter what we talk about on these episodes. So why don't I go ahead? I'll drop a trailer in here for us. We'll get to some numbers, some fun facts, some favorites of the film, and we'll keep on rolling through.
Hell yeah, let's do it, buddy. Roll it.
We've been fighting a long time. We are outnumbered by machines. Humans have a strength that cannot be measured. This is John Connor. If you're listening to this, you are the Resistance. I thought I knew our enemy. Something has changed. Skynet is taking human prisoners, replicating human tissue.
Let's see what we've got here.
And in this future, I don't know that we can win this war.
This thing is something we've never seen before.
My name is Marcus Wright.
You think you're human?
I am human.
What are you?
I don't know.
I know he's not the enemy.
If we stay the course, we are dead! We are all dead!
I'm the only hope you have.
As Adrian has stated before, what a great trailer. You know,
Right?
I will say that this film has a very intriguing trailer when watched on YouTube or something like that. I have not seen the trailer for this since, you know, it was since before the film came out, clearly. So watching it again, I was like, okay, I can see why I was intrigued back in the day.
Right?
And you know, I wanted to say this in the beginning, but before we get to our numbers, what's funny is growing up, all of these films were like, oh, you know, this happened in 2029 and in 2018 and 2017. And no, it's actually 1997 and 2024. Everything was in our future. And now watching these films, I'm like, you know, this was supposed to happen 8 years ago. It's all in the past now.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to watch because I saw it was 2018 in the distant future of 2018, and then I remember we were watching and Jonah was like, "Well, that was 8 years ago." I was like, "Shut up, dude."
It's definitely weird watching these nowadays and seeing that everything that was predicted so far in the future, you know, when you're watching these, that now you're watching them and it's in the past. So I just wanted to mention that real quick because it throws me off every time I throw one of these on because I'm so used to it being in the future while we're watching these.
Yeah, it's they were way off on guessing what was gonna happen. I'm so glad that they were able to kill the Terminator and we didn't have to experience that.
Well, we still have 2029. That's still a possibility from
It
these films.
is. It is. And it's not that I'm looking forward to it, but these bills are starting to get a little high. So if I had to choose between paying bills and gunning down some robots,
Probably wouldn't be a hard choice. No. You know what else you're excited for? The
what am I
numbers.
excited for? The numbers?
You are excited for the numbers.
Let's get into the numbers, man.
All right. So Terminator Salvation in 2009 had a budget of $200 million and a box office return of $371.4 million, which in 2026 dollars would be a budget of $312.4 million and a box office return of $580.4 million. So not quite doubling, a little over, but like about 1.5 times your budget. So I mean, this film was still out when Blu-rays and things like that were popular, when films were still being rented from video stores. And again, this came out and it brought back excitement or interest in the Terminator video games. So again, the box office doesn't tell the whole story for what this film did, but still enough to warrant a sequel a couple years later, just not following this time.
Yeah, I got a hot take about that movie whenever we get to it, but we'll see next week.
He said he likes it better than the original.
Like 1.5 timesing your money. Not bad. You know, it sounds it's like if you have $5 and now you have 700 like $7.50, it's not that much. But we're talking millions. You know, like are we really going to complain that you didn't double, which that sucks, but also you didn't do bad. You made your money and then you made it times 1.5. It's not bad. It's definitely it's decent for a movie, I will say. I mean, yeah, for a movie this style, this size, and with this name at the front, should it have done better? Yes, it should have. And then with this freaking stacked cast, oh my goodness, yeah, it should have done better than what it did. But did it really do horrible? No, I don't think it. I don't think it did horrible.
Let me tell you what our critics thought of our Terminator Salvation.
This is gonna piss me off, isn't it?
So Terminator Salvation is rated
Oh my goodness! I just saw the Metascore. Oh my good.
a 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb. It has a 33% critics rating on Rotten Tomatoes, a 53% audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes or the popcorn meter, and then a 49% rating on Metacritic. So there is those are not going to make Adrian happy on this film.
No, what the hell? What is going on? What? Why can't y'all just sit down and watch it as a movie? You know, like you take the first 3 movies out. I mean, you could probably leave the third one, but you take those movies out and just watch it for what it is, a good movie. I enjoyed it. It had great action. It had some pretty decent dialogue. I mean, it wasn't really too quotable. I will say that. But it's not a bad movie. Some of y'all just be pissing me off.
It didn't have the Arnold one-liners. That's what holds this film back from being quotable.
That's 100% true.
And I'm sure that's a big portion of it. That's okay, because I have no more numbers to disappoint you. That is all I have in the numbers. The budget and box office are good, and then I had to bring you down. So, would you like to get into fun facts or our favorites category on Terminator Salvation?
Let's go ahead. Let's get into favorites. I'm feeling it.
Okay. I kind of liked what we did on our last one where we kind of bounced around them. Like I'll pick one, you pick one. I kind of liked what we did for Terminator 3 with that. So you know what? I'll pick one for you. And since this film wasn't really that quotable, why don't you go ahead and give me your favorite quote?
Okay. All right. That's man, I will say it's that was difficult. Picking a quote that was it's not a very quotable movie. And I feel like that's something that really toned this down. Because if you look at the quotes, I mean, hell, if you go through IMDb and you check out the quotes in this, a lot of them are about, second chances. They about 30% of all the quotes in IMDb for this movie just talk about second chances at some point. But my favorite quote came from Kyle Reese, who was played by the late and great Anton Yelchin. Ah, man, he was such a good actor. He's gone too soon. The movies he could have delivered. Ah, good kid. Um, he says this to Marcus whenever he got all pissed off at him. He says, "You want to know the difference between us and the machines? We bury our dead, but no one is coming to bury you." Oh, that coming from little Anton? Ah, man, that hurt. That hurt me. I was like, "Man, little dude, you got some teeth right now, you know?"
I'll give you that one. That was a good one. And it kind of gave me like a little ooh, like when I was watching the film, like, okay, he's got a little fire in him. I wasn't, don't hold this against me. I wasn't a big fan of the recasting of Kyle Reese in this. I know that he's meant to be like a young or like an older teenager type, but I was just like, man, when you're coming from that great performance that Michael Biehn gave in the first one, I was just like, I can't jump on, I can't jump on this train. I can't go with him. I can watch the movie with him in it, but I wasn't the biggest fan.
Okay.
Maybe that's
Alright.
just me.
I can see
Maybe
it's
I'm just too picky when it comes to these Terminator films. I don't know.
I don't know. Listen, what I'm interested in is the next category that I'm gonna pick for you, to do because your homeboy Arnold is not in this one, so I wanna know who's your favorite character?
Okay, okay. I thought you were gonna give me quote first. Okay, you're making okay. Well, I'll get to my quote later then.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll get there later. Oh, wait. No, you still have to do your quote. Damn it. Just I space so freaking hard right now.
No, it's fine. I'll
No,
pick
give me
one.
your quote. Give me your
I'll
quote,
pick
bro.
one for you, and then you pick one for me. We'll bounce back and forth.
Okay, alright, we'll do that. We won't even yeah, we won't stick to the same category. We're gonna get to your quote later. I'm so curious about who's your favorite character?
Okay, and I'll tell you who my favorite character was. My favorite character was actually Marcus, Sam Worthington,
Ooh,
and he I don't know what it is about him, but I've always been a big fan of him as an actor as well. And I mean, I know him from a lot of his big films, like the Avatar films. I know him in this. Like I said earlier, I know him in Rogue. And there's a couple other parts that he's done, and I just I don't know what it is about him, but like feel like when he's on screen, I'm drawn to the movie because like I don't know if it's like an accent thing or I just like the way he acts or what it is, but I thought he played Marcus very well in this. I liked how they played him to think he was human, and then he's actually this like half human, half Terminator. Like he's like a new breed of Terminator that they're fooling around with and trying to get right, I guess you could say. Like he's the future. So I like that aspect. And then I like that he ended up helping Kyle Reese and John Connor, and it just his whole kind of arc in this. I mean, I guess he was on death row being an inmate, and he ends up signing over the I guess you could say the rights to his body for Skynet and Cyberdyne to kind of use him and experiment on him. So I liked that aspect as well. And I just thought Marcus was a great character. I mean, there wasn't a lot to choose from in this. I mean, I could have went with Kyle Reese. I could have went with John Connor. There was the Colonel played by Ironside that I could have chose, but he wasn't in it enough for me. So I ended up going with Marcus. I think Sam Worthington did a great job, and I wouldn't have minded seeing him if this could have continued. I wouldn't have minded seeing him return in a future Terminator franchise if we could have kept this storyline.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
So, what shall I ask Adrian for next? Well, since we're bouncing around, why don't you we'll go final score for Adro's next category.
Man, I had a feeling that you were gonna go score, and, I was ready for it and also not ready at the same time, um, for the simple reason of, do you freaking know who was who did the score for this movie? Do
Yes,
you
and I'm
know?
blanking on it. Same one who did a couple of the Batman films.
Mhm, Danny freaking Elfman, o
Yes.
one of the greatest composers. He's freaking amazing. I love Danny Elfman. Everything that he does is just he just delivers bomb after like, it's just it's great. I'm so for it. I'm a big Danny Elfman fan. And, figuring out what song or what track is, it was very difficult for me because I'm not gonna lie, I was listening to this at work, and I was vibing to the whole thing. I big fan here. So I got it narrowed down, to The Harvester Returns, great one. The Reveal/The slash the Escape, that was a great one. And then the final confrontation. Could not choose between those. Those were fantastic tracks. And I was just like, man, the tuba going on in the final confrontation. I don't know what it was, but I was like really focusing in on the tuba. Um, I don't know. Maybe I do need to take some ADD medicine or something. But I was there was some instrument on each of those tracks that I was just like I had a laser focus on, and I just could not shake it.
Okay. I won't go into my favorite score yet. I will wait to see what the co-host picks for me on this next one. But I do agree with you. I will say real quick that I do like this soundtrack in this film better than the one that we got in Terminator 3: Rise of the Machine.
Right? This was just I mean, uh, there's a fun fact that I have here that pissed me off. I will say that right now, and we will get into that later. But um my your next thing is let's go favorite scene.
All right. Well, can I get back to being basic here? All right, because you're gonna judge me, and it's my favorite scene was when John Connor finally meets the new and improved the T-800 that Skynet has been working on, our CGI Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator, and just the final like fight scene and confrontation between John Connor, the T-800, and Marcus in Skynet. I thought that was greatly done. I thought they built up to it well with Kyle Reese being trapped in there and them planning to go get him and how it all worked out with them John Connor telling the colonel not to strike Skynet just yet earlier on in the film. Like, if you do that, we're all dead, because he knows that Kyle Reese is in there, and if they bomb it or attack it, he's gonna die. So like I liked the build up to that final scene, and then when we finally get that confrontation when they're in Skynet and John Connor meets the T-800 and Marcus has to end up come and save it or help save him and defeat the T-800. I just thought that was a great finale for what they built up in the film. So that was my favorite scene.
I like it. I like it. I mean,
I like it a lot.
I like it a lot. What do you got for me? What are you choosing for me now?
All right, I've done quote and score for you. Why don't we go up to the top of the list and ask you your favorite character?
All right, all right. My favorite character. I'm in agreement with you, Sam Worthington. Man, wait, if you look at the movies in that time frame, he was all over the movie scene. Like he was in theaters at least once a year. Yeah, he ruled the theaters. Like, do you remember that time frame?
A decent amount. Like I know Rogue was like 2006, 2007. Terminator Salvation was 2009. I think Avatar was 2009 as well. Because I think he did Avatar before Salvation, but I could be wrong on that. He
You
did
are correct. He did
he
it
did
before.
Wrath of Titans a couple years later, and then other than that, I'm not really too familiar with that time period.
So I'm
For
gonna go
him
ahead
at
and
least.
just you 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 got it correct. Rogue was in 2007. He took a 2-year gap. You know, he was playing movies. Um, Terminator Salvation, Avatar. In both of those in 2009, 2010. He did Clash of the Titans, Love and Distrust, The Debt, Last Night. He was a voice actor for Call of Duty Black Ops, the original Black Ops game, and that was
Oh, I
yes, he
did
was
not put
Alex
that
Mason.
together. You're right.
And all of those that I just mentioned, all in 2010. And then 2011, Texas Killing Field, 2012, Man on a Ledge, Wrath of the Titans, Call of Duty Black Ops 2, that's all in 2012. And then he's got 3 things in 2013. He's got another 1, 2, 3, 4 in 14. 15, he's got another 4 things. He's been all over the movie industry. And then let's go ahead and bring it back. He was in Avatar. Beautiful film. My wife freaking loves that movie. I enjoy Avatar. Don't get me wrong. But the amount of love for that movie that my wife has, it's on the same level as Jurassic Park for me. Like, I could watch Jurassic Park day after day. She can watch Avatar, any one of the 3, over and over and over again. That's insane. But yeah, Sam Worthington. He delivered an amazing role here, and he came in, he saw it, he destroyed. I loved it.
Yeah, I said Wrath of the Titans that he was in. I don't know how I forgot Clash of the Titans, and I mentioned the sequel, not the original. So,
It's all right. I fixed you
apo
later.
apologize from apologies from me, but you know what he was in that I really like, and if you haven't seen it, anyone who's listening, especially Adrian, you need to watch it. Sabotage with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He's in Sabotage?
He is in Sabotage.
No.
Yes,
What?
I absolutely love that movie. Love him in that. I I couldn't believe I forgot about that until thinking about, like, just now what he's been in and played in, and I was just like, "Damn, he's in Sabotage. I wonder if Adrian's seen that."
I have not seen that. I will
So
check it
good.
out.
So good.
I will check it out. And you know what? He was in Terminator movie and he didn't play with Arnold. And so I bet you he was really pushing on being in Sabotage. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna play with Arnold.
Is that all we have to do is call somebody and be like, "I wanna be in a movie with Arnold," 'cause I really want that. I want
I've been making calls.
Bet. Say less.
Nobody's
I
picked up.
appreciate it.
Yeah, nobody's picked up. But I've been
Oh,
making
okay.
the calls.
37 voicemails later, we get a call back. It's fine. It's fine.
It's cute that you think I'm only on 37.
Oh. All right, what do you got next for me?
Oh man. All right. What was your favorite score?
You're always saving my good one for last, aren't you?
I I am. I am. I know you have one that you're sitting on. I'm blowing past it. We're
I've been
going
sitting
score.
on it the whole time too. My hands under my legs, like ah.
It's so great. This is just going to be just a wild episode.
All right, so favorite score. I agreed with you on one of the three that you chose, and my favorite score kind of went with my favorite scene, or actually, it did go with my favorite scene with Final Confrontation, and I thought that was done very well. I thought it was very upbeat. I thought it surrounded the scene very well. The scene was action packed. The score, Final Confrontation, was action packed and kind of like in your face and delivered a bang, just like that final scene did. So, in a short and sweet answer, my favorite score was Final Confrontation.
That was a great scene. I will say that. It wasn't my favorite scene, but it was definitely a second favorite scene.
Well, of course, I didn't choose the main Terminator theme in this one because we don't get it until the end credits, really, and at least in its full shining glory. So I didn't want to pick that one. So Final Confrontation was the one for me. So Adrian, you got one left for me. I got one left for you. What was your favorite scene in Terminator Salvation?
This one's gonna come out of left field. I've been sitting on this one too. You waited for my favorite. My favorite scene was whenever Marcus Wright, played by Sam Worthington, arrived at Skynet, and he's like scurrying around, and he's like hiding behind everything, and they have that big ass sentry bot that's like just looking over, looking for things to kill. And then Sam Worthington, he's just hiding and he's hiding and he's like, "How am I gonna get out there?" And he gets like, "Screw it, let me try." And he comes out and he's got his hands out, and then the sentry bot just looks straight at him, has the guns pointed, and then it um it analyzes him, realizes he's also a type of Terminator, and then it just goes back to being a sentry bot, just looking all over the place. And you just see the hurt in his eyes about he's accepting it. He's not happy. It just proves without a shadow of a doubt that he is in fact a machine, no longer human. And I don't know why that scene stuck with me so much, but that's my favorite scene.
It is not a bad scene at all. So that one is a little bit out of left field. Didn't expect it. Great scene in the film. It definitely adds a lot to the film when you get to that point. So good on you. I I cannot say anything bad about you choosing that scene because even coming out of left field, it's very good and it has a big impact on the film. So I will leave it there. That is a good choice.
I appreciate that. So now that I got my last thing out, what was your favorite quote?
I've been waiting. No.
I've been waiting.
I've been like sitting here on the chair, like bouncing up and down, like, come on, come on, come on, ask me. Damn it.
Uh,
So my favorite quote came from John Connor, and it was his voiceover at the end. I don't
I
know what
knew
it
it.
is with shut up. Don't judge me.
I knew it was going to be the freaking voiceover.
I
I knew it was going to be it.
am basic. Leave me alone. And it's his voiceover. I know I like voiceovers because I chose a voiceover at the end of the last film. So
Mhm.
leave it be. But he says, "There's a storm on the horizon, a time of hardship and pain. This battle has been won, but the war against the machines races on. Skynet's global network remains strong, but we will not quit until all of it is destroyed. This is John Connor. There is no fate but what we make. And then you get that da-dun, dun, da-dun, da-dun, dun, da-dun. So come on. How could I not choose that? A great quote leading into a great soundtrack to end the film. Like, mwah, chef's kiss.
Okay, so speaking of the Terminator, the classic Terminator soundtrack, all right, the classic Terminator score. There's an ongoing joke now in the household since we're rewatching, all the Terminator movies. The kids haven't seen it since they were Noah was a baby. Jonah, he was very young at the time, so he doesn't quite remember these movies. But now that we're watching it, and I like it since Kaylin has an unbelievable memory, and it pisses me off. Because she'll recite like whole ass conversations and what day and what time it was, and she's just like I call her my little robot, and so she'll just like, oh well, we did this and this. I'm like, shut up, robot. And so every time I call her a robot, she's like, watching all these Terminator movies, you think it's a good idea to piss off the robot? And then Jonah in the background will go dun 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 dun. I was like, I raised you right, boy.
That is pretty good. So with our favorites category, we have our main ones out of the way. Usually we have a couple honorable mentions for quotes or anything like that. I had 2 for quotes, and that was all. Did you have any for anything else or quote or any honorable mention quote?
And like I said, these quotes were a little hard to do. They just, I don't know. Some of these like it's in the moment, and some of these they just picked a decent quote, but nothing that really jumps out. Oh, excuse me. But I think it was whenever my honorable mention is between John Connor and General Ashdown, and they're going back and forth. And John Connor goes, Skynet has Kyle Reese. And Ashdown goes, then that is his fate. And Connor goes, no, it's our fate. I have to save him. He is the key to the future, to the past. Without him, we lose everything. And Ashdown goes, no, you stay the course. Connor says, if we stay the course, we are dead. We are all dead. And then Ashdown, pissed off, goes, as of this moment, soldier, you are relieved of your command. You are no longer a part of this resistance. And he turns off the comm. And then you get Common, who's played by Barnes, who's played by Common. He goes, I didn't catch that last statement. And then the comms officer looks over. He's like, yeah, neither did I.
Couple ride or dies. That quote. Christian Bale was acting his ass off in that scene too. When he was like, "We are dead. We are all dead." Like I was like, this man is rocking. He is vibing right now.
Mhm.
I thought you're going close to something that I thought you were going somewhere. One of my honorable mentions, and mine was from John Connor as well. This is another kind of longer one where he's talking to the people on the resistance listeners on the radio, and he goes, this is John Connor. If you're listening to this, you are the resistance. Listen carefully. If we attack tonight, our humanity is lost. Command wants us to fight like machines. They want us to make cold, calculated decisions, but we are not machines. And if we behave like them, then what's the point in winning? Command is going to ask you to attack Skynet. I'm going to ask you not to. If even one bomb drops on Skynet before sunrise, our future will be lost. So please stand down. Give me time to protect the future that all of us are fighting for. This is John Connor. And I was like, you know what? It doesn't have the quippy one-liners and things that the Arnold films has, but this still has some good writing.
It did. It did have some good writing. It does have some good writing. Yeah, it does have whatever the grammatically correct statement of that is. Writing good, movie good. That's what that's all I could say. I'm struggling hard at the end over here. But I agree with you. It definitely had some good. It had some good dialogue, but again, nothing too quotable. Like it's all in the moment kind of stuff. I can't pull it as a quote. It's just you had to be there, kind of thing.
I'll pull one more for you.
All right.
I had one that it kind of made me say out loud to myself, like, ouch, damn. And it's when Marcus in the beginning he's negotiating for a kiss. And he ends up kissing the lady who's trying to get him to kind of sign his body over. And he goes, "So that's what death tastes like." And I was just like, damn, like that's rough, my guy. Like,
Yeah, that man, that I agree with you. That was yeah, I think even Kalen was like, "Eek, kind of fucked up." You're good.
all right. So that is officially all I have for you in our favorites category. I do, of course, have some fun facts, as I know you have some for me as well. Would you like to take that lead, or would you like me to drop one first here for you?
Ooh, I want to take the lead on this one because I have one that I gotta give out because it's got one of my favorite actors in it.
All right, go ahead. You shoot first.
All right, Terry Crews. You know him. You love him. He was cast as Captain Jericho, but his scenes ended up being cut from the final film. However, Cruz is still visible in one scene as a dead body left in the aftermath of a battle, which pisses me off. How dare you? How dare you?
I did see that on my rewatch when you see the body laying there. I was like, "That's freaking Terry Crews!" Like, what in a Terminator film? I was
Yeah,
like, "Why do I not remember that?"
so out of pocket, right?
Yeah,
I was blown away. I saw his name pop up and I was like, "What?" And I had to look it up and damn. Yep.
definitely threw me off when I got to that scene early on and seen him laying there, and I was like, "Okay, I don't remember that at all." But
Mm,
it makes sense because it's like 7 seconds of the film. So
yeah.
So my first one for you here is at around 28 minutes into the film, the trick with keeping a shotgun attached around the arm that Marcus shows Kyle Reese is used by the older Kyle Reese, played by Michael Biehn at the beginning of the original Terminator, after he saws off the butt to shorten the shotgun he stole from the police squad car. So I like that. I didn't add up that continuity, but I may have read this fun fact, went back to that first Terminator and been like, damn it, you got me again.
I mean, yeah. It's so frustrating. Man, I didn't catch that either. I totally forgot about that part, and it was frustrating for me because I was like, man, I should have caught that because that was a deep like that was a small part, like, but it had impact in the first movie. It just I don't know. All right, next one. This one hurt. This one hurt to read. Special effects wizard Stan Winston died during filming on June 15th, 2008, making this the last film in which he provided visual effects. This film is dedicated to his memory. Now, in case you're asking yourself who Stan Winston was, he did he was the visual effects coordinator for multiple movies, including the original Jurassic Park movie and Aliens. Just throwing that out there.
Two of his favorites. That's why
Yeah,
he's throwing that out there.
that is exactly why I'm throwing that out there.
Stan
Like, come
Winston
on,
did special effects on hundreds of movies.
hundreds. Like it's okay. Let's see. Known for let's see, makeup department 51, special effects 42, additional crew 11. He was a writer. He was an actor, director. Stan Winston did it freaking all. He lived from 1946 all the way to 2008. Uh, and in those years, he delivered amazing, amazing movies. He did the original Terminator, Jurassic Park, Terminator 2, Aliens, Jurassic Park, Galaxy Quest, Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, um, Batman Returns, Batman freaking Returns, Edward Scissorhands, um, Something Wicked This Way Comes, Friday the 13th, Part 3, The Thing, the freaking original Thing, Friday the 13th, Part 2, Didn't know if you knew about that one. The Wiz, I'm just throwing that one out there. It's not bad. It's interesting. I watched it. Planet of the Apes. Come on. All these movies. Amazing movies. And he did them. And he done them all. And just loved it.
His resume is definitely literally endless, like bottomless.
Yeah. They still credit him. And I'm gonna throw a little future shout out here. In Terminator Dark Fate. For the makeup effects designer for the original T-800. They credited him for that.
And I mean, that's just, I think that's just their way of paying respects to the man, which I like.
Absolutely. Great movies. Great man. The end.
So my next one for you here is that in the original Terminator, Kyle Reese asked the police, "What day is it? What year?" And one of the first things Marcus Wright says to Kyle Reese in this film is, "What day is it? What year?" So as anyone knows, I'm the callback and the connections guru. So
Mhm.
I figured I had to put that one in there.
Absolutely, you had to. um, and I thank you for that because I needed that. Let's see, my next one. This one, I'm sticking with some emotions today. All right, I already went with one of my favorite actors. I went with the late great Stan Winston. So I went little mad and a little sad about Terry Crews, and then very sad for Stan Winston. And I'm gonna go mad again, just straight mad, no sad. Um, on this one, MCG originally wanted Gustavo Centun Taulala. Don't know how to pronounce his last name. It's now Santalalola. That's how you pronounce it. Um, or Hans Zimmerman to compose the score before. I'm putting this is verbatim from the internet. If it's on the internet, you can't lie, but there's a word here that's just utterly pissing me off, and it says before settling. Freaking settling on Danny Elfman. Who the fuck are you? Who are you to to say that you settled for Danny Elfman? No, my good sir. You didn't settle with Danny Elfman. You got blessed by Danny Elfman. Hot take number 4.
Adrian's full of hot takes today.
Freaking on it today. I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
Better than an energy drink. No. So I got one for you here about Sam Worthington and how he was kind of originally signed on to this film. So he signed on to this film after finishing work on Avatar. He was recommended to the director of this film by Terminator creator James Cameron for his role of Marcus Wright.
As he should have been. I mean, so you're playing the lead character in the James Cameron film, and then right across the studio is a film being developed not by the original creator, who is James Cameron, who is the director of the movie you are currently acting for, but somebody who has heavy say on what is going on. I mean, you could say that he didn't have any say at all in this movie or any movies, coming up. That may be true. But if James Cameron freaking comes up to you and says, "Hey, I got this young cat over here. You're gonna want to put him in." You freaking put him in. And so James Cameron gave Sam Worthington this film credit. So hats off to you, James Cameron. My goodness, I'm fired up today.
I like it. Bring that energy.
On it. All right, here we go. You talked about this a little bit earlier. Kind of pissed me off. I'm gonna go a little bit deeper. But Terminator Salvation was intended to be the first of a new Terminator Future War trilogy. I could have received 2 more post-apocalyptic movies featuring machines, killer robots. The world could have been blessed with 2, count them, not 1, but 2 more, not including this film that we're talking about today, but 2 extra films, post-apocalyptic, killing robots, and no, it didn't do it. They didn't do it. They were all going to be done by MCG, but the film's poor performance and reception led to the next 2 films being canceled. You times and a half your money. You times and a half it. What are you doing with where'd the rest of that money go? Huh? Put it back into your freaking company and develop 2 more films like this. You want to go better than this one? By all means, be my guest. Go better than this film. But you don't. No. You put your money because somebody was greedy and they took more money than they should have, and then this company got shut down, and they sold the franchise rights to a different production company who you said earlier, um, something with a weird name. I'm not. It's not in my notes. And then a new trilogy was planned to begin with Terminator Genesis. Ooh, we will. I will get started on Genesis next Monday. Tune in. But this did not materialize either, again due to a combination of critical and commercial failure. You could say it was commercial failure, or you could say that the film sucked. I don't know. Maybe that's my hot take on Terminator Genesis. Hot take number 1, future tense. Who knows? Okay, I'm off of it.
All right, so I got 3 more for you. I got 2 shorties, and then I got one that's a pretty good length. So I put this in here, and I will tell you exactly why I did it. So at around 22 minutes in, the appearance of the clown mascot for the abandoned toy factory was based on serial killer John Wayne Gacy, who entertained children as Pogo the Clown. So I've seen that, and I put that in there just because I love and still continue to this day love watching the documentaries and the interviews with like John Wayne Gacy and just all those like crazy serial killers like Dahmer and all them. I don't know. I'm one of those nerds that'll stay up late and watch a serial killer documentary. So, and John Wayne Gacy has always been my favorite one to learn about. So that's the only reason I threw that one in there for us.
I too, I mean, shocker. I too am a big fan of serial killers. Weird, I know, right? Um, John Wayne Gacy, Pogo the Clown. That name has escaped my memory for the past, I'm gonna go ahead and say about 2 years. Could not remember what his clown name was. And so for the past about 2 years, I've been calling, the Gacy the clown. Like I like John Wayne Gacy who played a clown for kids, whatever. And this I would go into his whole I could tell you about his whole freaking life story, but could not remember freaking Pogo the clown. Thank you, Connor.
You're welcome. I'm here. I'm telling you, I'm here for you. I say it all the time.
And I appreciate it there, buddy. Okay. All right. So I got 3 more. I got 2 medium little bits and then 1 short one involving something that I love very dearly. When we will get to that. It's not gonna be this first one. You may think it's this first one just because of the end, this last sentence, but um, don't worry about it. Okay, so this is not what I love, but I'm just gonna read this one to you. The first Terminator film to receive a PG-13 rating. The previous films were R. According to director MCG, he never aimed for a specific rating and simply shot the movie the way he intended. Good for you, buddy. That's good, but Terminator movies, we typically like our R rating. Just saying. Maybe that's why this one only got 1.5 times the budget, but who am I? All right, with full support of the studio. Good, the studio supported that. Didn't they also fail? Don't want to talk about it. I already went on that hot take. The film was initially rated R, but they found out that by deleting just one scene where Marcus injures a couple of thugs, they could get a PG-13 rating, reasoning that The Dark Knight back in 2008 had been released the previous year with a PG-13 rating without feeling compromised in any way. They decided the lower rating was appropriate. Another scene that was omitted was a topless scene for Blair Williams, played by Moon Bloodgood, that felt a bit gratuitous. Both scenes were restored in the extended edition of the movie, which received an R rating. Thank you for the R rating on that one. Just throwing that out there. No reason, but I feel like Terminator movies need to be R rated.
I 100% agree with you. Show me a little bit more action, violence, and blood. And in these Terminator films, you can leave out the nudity. If it's a Friday the 13th film or something like that, give me a little bit of nudity. But
Just a little bit.
I definitely prefer my R rating when it comes to these Terminator films, especially coming off of the first two. The third one, not so much. It was a little bit more calm, but still an R rating. And like you said, I don't know if that might have had something to do with what they made in the box office, but who knows?
No.
All right, so here's this one. Let me know what you think of this one, because Sam Worthington described this movie as a raw war movie while comparing the previous entries in the franchise to different genres. The original he stated as a horror film, Terminator 2 Judgment Day as an action chase film, and Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines as a romp. I thought that was funny.
All right. I can accept that.
That one just gave me a little laugh. I was like, I'm gonna throw that in there and see what Adro thinks about it.
I like it. I like it. My goodness. Okay. All right. I got two left. And I'm gonna include this one just because I love my wife and I know that she likes this actor. So I'm just gonna include this for a little Easter egg for her when she listens to this episode. At the beginning of the film, when Marcus removes the clothes from a body of a dead human resistance soldier to put on himself, he apparently decides to keep the dead soldier's black boxers on the corpse for some reason. This suggests that Marcus may or may not be wearing any underwear underneath his stolen pants.
I seen that one. I thought about putting it in here, and I was like, "I'm not doing that." And then you do, and I'm like, "This is great."
It was such a stupid, like, why? Why is this in the trivia? But I saw it.
They
Yeah.
want us to watch this movie again and wonder if he's wearing underwear.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, like, Kaylin, if you're listening, figure it out for yourself.
Kaylin, you're welcome.
All right, what's your last one?
So my last one was my favorite one, and this is exactly why I saved it to put it here. In the film's originally scripted ending that was leaked, John Connor died from his injuries, and Marcus Wright agreed to have Connor's skin transplanted over his Terminator endoskeleton because news of John's death would seriously hurt the morale of the Resistance. According to director McGee and actor Christian Bale, the full ending was even bleaker than this. As soon as the procedure is complete, the John Connor robot is taken over by Skynet and he wipes out Kyle, Kate, and the rest of the Resistance. This ending was actually greenlit by the studio, but the director eventually decided that it was just too nihilistic and disappointing for the audience. The idea of John Connor becoming a Terminator was reused in Terminator Genesis, where an embodiment of Skynet converts Connor into a T-3000. So don't get Adrian started on that one just yet, but that was my favorite fun fact, so I had to throw it in.
You know, and seeing like as you were reading that in my head, I was I was watching the scene. You know, he's dying. He's he's dead. Around the scene where he's dying in the actual movie, I picture he's just dead. He just dies, and then they're like, well, we got to continue on. So they like, well, he's like, well, I'm technically a robot, and this is my old skin. Like, let's let his memory live on. And then I just see, it kind of starts at his face and it's Christian Bale, and maybe like the skin's kind of hanging down a little bit, and you can see a little bit of the robot underneath, like underneath the eye, and he like fixes it, and then he looks perfect, and then it zooms out, and I was like, oh, that would have been a good one, been a good movie. Like that would have been an ending that I could have sat with. Which this ending wasn't too bad. I'll agree with it. I'm gonna go ahead and remind everybody that we missed out on 2 post-apocalyptic movies here. Whatever. All right, my last fun fact comes from something that is near and dear to my heart: airplanes. We had airplanes in the sky on this movie, and not only did we have airplanes in the sky, but we had some of my favorite fighter jets, the A-10 Thunderbolt II. Ugh, I saw those come onto this screen, and they were all over the place, and that was one reason why I fell in love with this movie too, is because those A-10 Thunderbolts. Ah, man, I love those freaking jets. I think they have such a cool design, and um, it's just they were designed for close air support for ground troops. Like I don't know, I don't know what it is about, but I just know that those planes are awesome. This movie was full of them. I like this movie.
I will say, I seen that one, and I was like, "All right, Adrian works on all types of aircrafts, so let me see if he throws something like this in here," and you did not disappoint me whatsoever.
Why? Thank you, thank you.
I'm not saying you do on a normal basis or anything, but
You're not my stepdad.
damn, or your wife. No. But no, that is all I have for fun facts. That is all you have. Why don't we go ahead? We have talked quite a bit about this film. We've given some information and trivia and things on it. Why don't we go ahead and we'll rumble into some final thoughts, and we'll go ahead and get on out of here.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
All right, I'll snap off first. So I said that I do like this film, and when I was younger, I was, as I've said before, I was that typical Terminator fan that compared this to the first two, especially not as much the third one, but the first two, because they're held to such a high standard. And the more and more that I watch this film nowadays, as an adult, I'm in my early 30s as of now, that I appreciate it way more than I did as a kid. That the what they tried to do differently, and jump from the pre-Judgment Day to the post-Judgment Day, and where we get the post-apocalyptic, where Skynet has bombed us and killed who knows what percentage of the world. So I appreciate this film much more than I did when I was younger. The score is good. An insane cast for who they cast in this film and what the cast members of this film have now become nowadays. I would have never thought this back then, but for the cast that they have in this film, it's great. It's a fun film. It's a pretty good installment in the Terminator franchise. So definitely worth a watch, and I can still have fun with it every time I turn it on.
Hell yeah. Um, mm, great film. I mean, I feel like I've gone into this thing to death. My wife is currently sitting in the next room over, and she just sent me a text message, and asking if Connor is allowed to talk at all this episode. Which I already replied to her, no. Yeah, sorry guys, I went on a couple hot takes and a couple rants here, but I felt like it was deserved. Felt like every single one of them was deserved, and this movie definitely had it coming. The casting, oh my goodness, stacked casting. You get a dead Terry Crews. I mean, that's interesting. Bryce Dallas Howard, she didn't die. That's also interesting.
You watch your mouth, sir.
Is that what I said, Connor? Um, and
Next episode, Terminator Genesis. I will be doing it by myself. No,
you know what? Good.
I don't think Adrian will be that mad about that.
A Big Papi AD has no problems with that. So it's a good film. Good film. Like I said, people give this film a hard time, and I think it's mostly just because of what franchise this is involved in, and I don't, you get glimpses of the future in all the other movies, and this one you are in the future, and that is so cool. Freaking post-apocalyptic, that's my jam. I love it. Let's watch more movies like this. I'm so freaking for it. So I will be starting a GoFundMe, and we are gonna create the final 2 movies in the post-apocalyptic war movies. I don't know how they titled it, whatever. But we will complete this trilogy and we will make it awesome. So good movie. That's all I can really say. I've done it enough. My Mountain Dew is wearing off, and I'm set for the evening.
All right. Well, great final thoughts. I'll since the dew's wearing off, I'll mail you energy drink so you're ready for our next episode. And before we get out of here, of course, would you like to plug the Make Me Believe podcast? Because I know you've seen it. I was just listening to you. I'm trying to catch up on your episodes.
I saw that shout out. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Yeah. Hello, everybody. Thank you again. And please join us on the Make Me Believe podcast, where my wife and I talk. We talk, we share, we talk about our lives. And then whenever we're done talking about our lives, I will tell her some scary stories and efforts of making her believe in the paranormal, supernatural, and frankly, anything that goes bump in the night. And it's pretty fun. It's pretty great. And just like the energy that I brought today, I typically bring that kind of energy into that show. So fun times all around. Come listen to some more rants.
Absolutely. Check them out. And here, continue listening to us. Tell your friends about us. Tell your friends about the Make Me Believe podcast. Show us all the love that we ask you to. Give us a follow, a like, a review, whatever you got to do. And it will absolutely make us happy. But when it comes to Terminator Salvation, it was still a pretty moderate success. Not enough to warrant a sequel, as we said multiple times. But in 2015, a reboot of the series titled Terminator Genesis was released on June 21st, 2015, with my man Schwarzenegger reprising his role as the Terminator. So I'm excited to get to that. I was excited when it came out. That's going to be a fun episode of me and Adrian talking and going back and forth on that film, just like we did this one. So tune in next week for that one, for Terminator Genesis. And Adrian, before we get out of here, as always, I want to thank you for joining me on Terminator Salvation, because it was a good time, and I ended up liking this film on the rewatch definitely a little more than I remember liking it.
Oh, Connor, thank you so much for having me. I definitely enjoy talking about these movies. So thank you for letting me explore the cinephile inside me. It's a weird statement to say, but I said it, and I'm sticking to it. I'm owning it.
I'll allow it. We allow the weird things here. No.
Hell yeah.
But again, thank you for joining me. Again, Terminator Genesis on our next episode. So thanks to anyone who's out there listening to us. And until next time.
See ya.
There is a storm on the horizon, a time of hardship and pain. This battle has been won, but the war against the machines rages on. Skynet's global network remains strong, but we will not quit until all of it is destroyed. This is John Connor. There is no fate but what we make.